Hello, lords and ladies. My name is Archaic King, and this is Cartoon Hangout, your place for all things cartoon. And that means a review for the most recent episode of Adventure Time Football. I'm sorry these reviews are getting to you so late, but I've been really out of it lately. Anyway, let's just get to the episode. So this episode was interesting, to say the least. In past seasons, I always just imagined that BMOs Friend Football was just some crazy figment of his imagination. But this new episode made a really good case against that. I think in the end, it really still is his imaginary friend, as the wiki doesn't list her as a separate character, but it was touch and go there for me. In this episode, BMO and Football made a deal to switch places for the day, but as Football explores the real world and see how beautiful it is compared to her world, she decides to leave BMO trapped in the mirror world. Now, this part of the episode really reminds me of an old Goosebumps book, where the mirror versions of characters escape and leave their real-world counterparts trapped. I think it was called Let's Get Invisible. The reason I really started to believe that Football was real was because BMO ended up exploring the mirror bathroom and learning there wasn't anything outside of it if it wasn't already reflected in the mirror.
Weird.
I think I'll have to let the fandom figure out whether or not Football is real, because I can't really tell on my own. However, if Football isn't real, this episode does a really good job of exploring BMO's sanity, because I'd say he's a tad bit crazy. Although, depending on how old BMO really is, you could claim he's got the mind of a child, and thus it's okay to have an imaginary friend, which makes it less crazy. Sticking with the idea of Football being imaginary, it's interesting how BMO's other persona is a girl. Being computer means that he has no gender, or is gender neutral. Yet, for most of the show, BMO is referred to as male more often than not. I don't know, it's just interesting to think about, but I think we've deviated a bit from the episode itself. BMO finally does return, leaving Football in the reflection of the pond outside with her friends. So, happy ending? What did you lords and ladies think of the episode? Let me know in the comments below. Today's question is this: do you consider BMO more of a male or a female, despite technically being neither? Thanks for watching. Take care.